Alright, hello and welcome to our first video here at Rabbit. I am Dr. J.K. Jones. Today we have a couple of matches between Storm and some people from the lobby. But before we start, I want to thank you for viewing this video. It's not often that people would view this channel since we're so small, but we just really appreciate this, so thank you, and we sincerely hope you enjoy this video. Alright, so from the get-go, we seem to have a very simple standard opener. Got a pylon and some probes for Storm, and a gas geyser first, as it seems, even though you can't see it. I'm sorry, my camera control for this is pretty bad. I'm not like Lowko. By the way, I'll post his channel in the description. He's like us here at Rabbit, except better in actual quality, so keep that in mind. He's really cool. Okay, so we have our first barracks going up, or second barracks actually, I think. We saw one earlier. Yeah, there we go. Camera hotkeys are done. So, yeah, standard opener so far. Another geyser actually before the base is even fully saturated. I don't know how I feel about this, but so Storm is my co-host here at Rabbit. He's not here right now. I'm actually recording this game, or the audio for this game after it happened. So let's see what happened. Storm is a Protoss player. I am too, and our friend Chum Captain, who may also be on this channel later, is also a Protoss player. So you'll see a lot of Protoss stuff, but we may do some Terran and Zerg at some point. Anyway, Storm does not play a lot of, well, classical strategies that you would see a lot, and he plays, like, he mixes some cheese into some games, and a lot of normal games too is what he plays. But anyway, he's pretty good at the game, and I enjoy playing with him, and I hope you enjoy watching it as much as I enjoy watching this as well. Yeah, so me and Storm are both around bronze, silver. Yeah, we've been in bronze and silver. We might get into gold. I don't know. We've won a lot of games in silver 1, but anyway. But we're currently ranked in Masters 3 due to a bug in StarCraft when we first did this season. So yeah, there was a guy who was too intimidated to play us due to the glowy ring around our portraits. But anyway. So yeah, we're not the best. Our goal in this channel is to improve and hopefully help others improve. So that's what we'll be shooting for today. Anyway, Bronx, who's just a guy we found in the lobby, who seems to be pretty nice from what we've seen. He's got a pretty standard macro game so far. Oh, did he just cancel Marines in a barracks or something? I don't know. 2 army supply just disappeared and nothing died. Anyway, he seems to have a pretty standard macro stuff, and he seems to have this down. So, he's got 8 Marines already, compared to nothing for Storm. So, yeah, this game is interesting, and it's actually much closer than a lot of people would think. But, yeah. Anyway, we've got our orbital commands done for Bronx. Nice. Orbital commands are great if you didn't know, because once you have an orbital command, you can drop mules, and mules gather about 300 minerals each, which is great. They boost your, like when you drop 4, your minerals income rate goes off the charts. So building your orbital commands is definitely worth it. So if you drop mules frequently, you're gonna be a-okay. Additionally though, I've noticed a lot of lower league players do not build mules. They just use the orbital commands for scanner sweeps. I mean, it's okay, but it would be better to drop mules and just build ravens for detection, or save a couple scanner sweeps but not use only scanner sweeps. Anyway, we've got our Terran army marching across, scoping it out, hoping for a bat fight. Oh, and right away, 4 Marines have gone down. And it's not looking too good. But in all honesty, if we look at the economy for both players, Bronx is more than fine losing 200 minerals more than Marines. You could lose that whole army and be just fine. So, Blink is about to finish, Combat Shield is about to finish, and the upgrades currently for Bronx are looking good. We got Concussive Shells, meaning you'll slow down the opponent, and Stim Pack, which is great for tearing your opponent's stuff up. But unfortunately, he's got no Medivacs out yet, meaning that every last stim will count in this. If you stim, then your opponent like blinks away and runs off. That's just sunk cost when it comes to the life. So it's not too good to be stimming too much at this point in the game. But like if you can like trap them in and corner them and stim, you're good to go. You just want to fight. So anyway, the opening here for Bronx has been pretty orthodox, except for the fact that he did Concussive Shells before Combat Shield. Typically you go for Combat Shield before Concussive Shells and start at +1 upgrades. And we've got a Hallucinated Phoenix Scout, which is really good. That's one of the best ways to scout, and all you lose is 50 energy from a sentry. And the Phoenixes can't attack, they can just get vision, so it's really good, because I'd recommend doing this in most games, because when you do the Hallucinated Phoenix Scouts, you just gain more vision for free. And right away, we're destroying those rocks right there. Maybe so you can like get Storm out of his base faster. Yeah, for some reason, as you'll see, he does not destroy those rocks, which would make his life easier, but he destroyed Storm's rocks, which would make Storm's life easier. So, yeah. Just a little bit of scouting here for Bronx, maybe. I feel like he could just go in for an attack. Storm has no vision of this until now. Oh, by the way, Storm's warping in 2 Stalkers instantly, and I'll have to post a link in the description for setting up rapid fire, so you can warp in tons of units really fast, as well as Terran, you can like fire off snipes really fast, and as Zerg, you can like fire off, like, what are they called, fungal growths or something? Like, there are a bunch of things you can rapid fire, and it's really good. I'll have to find a video explaining it. I know there's like a few by Pig and some other guy. Yeah. Anyway, pretty standard game here. Yeah, the macro for Bronx is great. Storm, moderate. Yeah, I'd like to see more expansions. At least Bronx is taking his third. Typically, you take a third base around the 5-minute mark, and the second base around the 1-minute mark. And like in lower leagues, a good way to know whether you should like build defense a bit for your base is if your opponent hasn't taken a base by the 3 minutes 30 seconds mark. So by checking stuff like that out, you can be like, oh, hey, they're gonna go for a 1 base all in and try to destroy me right then and there. I'll build like a bunker for my Marines to keep them safe, and that's that. Stuff like that will protect you from some stuff. Oh, poor Jimmy. He's gonna get lacerated by those cannons and units if he goes in. But, oh no, he's gonna change his course. Anyway, I think Bronx is scared of being cheesed here because of the unorthodox opening by Storm. Or, I mean, it's like half and half. I don't really know what to call that, but yeah, anyway. I think he's afraid that Storm has like a proxy Stargate or something in like 20 Void Rays. Yeah, anyway, Jimmy over here, hoping to cancel a third base, but in case you don't know, you typically, with that, like, you might kill 1 worker with that Marine, but the base will already start, and the worker could get away. Yeah, it's just a good scouting habit. He's still alive and well over there. Anyway, when you look at the supply, you'll see a huge difference. There's about like a 40 army difference, 37 actually, and a 31 worker difference, and a scan goes off showing what's going on. I mean, there are cannons, but that won't help a lot. Because typically, beginners often think, oh, you know what's great? Static defense. And in case you don't know, static defense is like spine crawlers, bunkers, cannons, stuff like that. But you know what's better than static defense? Units. They're like static defense, but can move. So, like, once you're supply blocked, sure. And as you can see, that hallucinated phoenix did no damage to the medevac, but it got vision of it. And so anyway, there's an attack going on, and I do not like this position for Storm one bit. He should be forcing his opponent to go up the ramp instead of trying to go down the ramp himself, because his stalkers aren't hitting stuff. I feel like with a bit more micro, he could have won that interaction. But anyway, Storm's a great guy. We're all trying our best here at Rabbit, even if our best isn't necessarily your best or your worst even. Our goal here is to learn, and hopefully you can learn something too from our channel someday, hopefully. And since we're always trying to improve, like, if you have any feedback for us, be sure to let us know. So, for example, when you're under attack like Storm was, and you have a Nexus finishing, you should just cancel the Nexus. It's not going to survive. That could be 3 more Zealots right now, if he had cancelled it. But, unfortunately no. But right now you can see both players have a ton of minerals, but GG is called. And Bronx has won. Alright, on to the next game. It's another Storm versus Bronx. So, as I remember, we did 3 Storm versus Bronx. Bronx is a nice guy, we just found him in the lobby, so yeah. If you ever want to play us sometime, just like send us a message and we'll see if we're available then, and we'll try to add it to our channel. Anyway, it's looking great so far again, but oh no. I don't think that's a scouting marker. That's a cheesing marker. And by the way, when I was new, I didn't know what cheesing meant. It's just like when you're doing something out of the ordinary. And sorry if you're an experienced veteran at StarCraft and I'm just going like you're a baby, but I just want to make sure everyone can learn. Alright, so we've already got a cheese here, and I can't make any good cheese puns because I can't be like, oh, that's a Gouda cheese, because it's actually said how to. I just learned that from Lowko, so yeah. Because that's a how to cheese doesn't really sound like that's a good cheese, so not great. And I already am unsure what to think of this cheese. It's a cheese my friend Chump Captain does all the time, where he does like a recharge spot full of shield batteries, and he goes for Sky Toss and just like attacks and pulls back into the batteries to heal, and then attacks and keeps pulling back. So he can destroy tons of units and structures for free because he keeps all his stuff alive. Oh, and Storm just cancelled another forge. But Storm was going for the exact same thing, but then decided, you know, it'd be better if I built ground toss against this guy. Which is not the best idea, because they won't be able to access the shield batteries as easily as the air would be able to. So like, for example, a carrier would just fly back and forth and hit it, versus a marine, or not marines, zealots, like, can't jump up and down cliffs like reapers, so yeah, not the best idea. But still, I mean, I feel like you could get some value out of this. Like Colossi would be really good, Immortals would be really good. But yeah, if I'm totally missing something on this cheese and somebody has an idea for how it could be improved, feel free to let us know in the comments, since that would be helpful. So yeah, we're hoping to make some more StarCraft videos, and on like my personal channel, I'm probably gonna also make some Unity videos, since I'm actually trying to code video games as well. So I'll let you know if there's anything cool there if you're interested. Yeah, but anyway, we may do some build orders here in the future that we've found to be pretty effective for lower league players. Yeah, and if you ever want to play us again, just send us a message, Or if you're ever in the lobby and see us, be like, oh, hey, I know those guys. Invite us. But, yeah. Yeah, and if you're interested in joining our clan, feel free. But, if anybody knows how to fix this, our clan is marked as, like, private, and we want it to be public, but we don't know how, so we'd appreciate if somebody could help us out with that. Because as a small channel, we're doing everything we can and just trying to have fun and hopefully help others learn. Yeah. Okay. We probably won't cast any like pro matches. We'll leave that for Lowko. We'll cast more like fewer games like Lowko does, since those seem to be more fun. So, once more, just a standard opening for Bronx, and it appears to be another timing attack with Stimpack and concussive shells. But again, combat shield would probably be better since he has more Marines. But overall, it's fine. So early into this game, we've got a cheese here, not accomplishing much yet. Maybe blocking a fourth, but honestly, you could just go to the other fourth base location and expand there. So, yeah, standard game. Looks like we're going for a move out right now. Yeah. So, there seems to be a Corporal Marauder up front, hoping to get some kills in. A little bit of splitting like they're banelings, but no, just go for the cannons. That's what he's doing. I'd go for the pylon since there's only one, and like it would make your units take less damage, and perhaps there won't be a bloody red carpet or cranberry juice. Sorry, the family-friendly show. But I mean, going for the cannons works too. We got Stalkers finally, but unfortunately, Stalkers get absolutely destroyed by Marauders. Oh man. The Stimpaks, once more, are very costly as there are no medevacs, but still great. And the second base seems to be as good as dead. Yeah, there are more Stalkers in the main, but I do not think it would be... Don't think it'll win that many fights unless you get like a ton. I mean, Zealots are great against Marines and Marauders, so personally would go for some charge lots. For beginners, that's Zealots with charge, as they're referred to by pros. And beginners want to be pros like me, but never will be. Who knows, maybe like a couple of years from now, I'll have enough videos to become much better, and hopefully all the people who started listening in this video become better as well. Anyway, seems to be standard opening once more from Bronx. Just overall, really good micro from him and from Storm. Micro could use, or not micro, macro could use some work, and the cheese has accomplished practically nothing. So, once again, the armies are just like staring each other down. Oh, every time I say this, they go in and fight. Okay, 2 Marines went down for free. But when you look at the minerals that have gone down, it doesn't really matter that much. Yeah. Ooh. I wonder what's going through Bronx's head right now. Oh, Storm's starting up a second base, actually, in the top right. So, yeah, I wonder what's going through Bronx's head right now. As he's just winning over and over and not having any clue what's going on. And still doesn't know about those cannons up top, as far as I know. So, oh, what's this? He's about to learn? SCV with a command center? No! Moment of silence. Moment's over, there's a fight. Oh, a little bit of stutter stepping, but without the attacking. But I mean, at least you got all your guys there. Oh, do you see those siege tanks on the ramp? That's really clever, as it forces the opponent to stay in the base. And there's a bit of all-army stimming, so you can see Marines down there getting stimmed. Storm is like, GG, but seems to be no response, so the game will keep going for a bit. And Nexus falls, but the probes are like, what if I go around? Great idea. So half of them are like, I'm gonna go out, gonna get away. No, they just get cornered and trashed. The other ones are like, what if I attack? Doesn't work. 2 survive, and a geyser. But the geyser is actually spotted. Yep. But a couple marauders and marines just went down up there to the cannons. I think it's 1 marauder, 1 marine. Anyway, Storm has 3 hero zealots, but not much else. He's got 1 base and a dream. But I don't think this dream will win. Even though the siege tanks aren't sieged up, they do a good amount of damage. And GG is called for real this time. And that's another win for Bronx. Wait, Storm needs to drop the Widow Mine. GG. Yeah. Forgot about that. Okay, on to game 3. Storm versus Bronx. This is the final Storm versus Bronx. If it was a best of 3, Bronx would have already taken the W. Sorry, I'm choked up. I haven't had enough water. Anyway, we've set up the Ehun reskins for Stormblender this time. Yeah, by the way, the full name is Stormblender, but goes by Storm in StarCraft, as it's shorter and easier to remember. Anyway, we chose the Ehun reskins because they're the Solnaga Protoss that are used as their tools units in co-op. And he just likes the way they look, so chose those. And we set that up with WCS Game Heart. He doesn't actually own those Ehun reskins. Yeah, so another standard opener, I guess you could say. Although I doubt it will end in a standard way. So this map is called Lightshade. I've seen a ton of crazy games on here from Lowko's viewer games. There's this one with like Void Rays and Marines. It was cool, but also heart-wrenching to watch the guy who was so clearly winning lose. On the previous map, somebody SCV rushed, succeeded with the SCV rush, and then was at an advantage the whole game, and still managed to lose. It was interesting. He would like fly battle cruisers over stimmed Marines the whole time instead of just flying backwards over ledges and killing them all. Or defeating them all. Yeah, anyway, this is an interesting match. Do you see how many loops it's already doing the SCV? Yeah, this is like the most painful scout I've seen. Instead of like patrol moving scouting, some people, do like a bunch of shift clicking. So I guess that's why his APM is in triple digits. So, just pretty standard game so far. Oh, we've got a bunker rush, and Storm has no vision of this. Check it out. No vision at all. As soon as the Nexus finishes, though, he will have vision. And ta-da! So, this is when Storm panicked, and then the Reaper came. And he starts up a Zealot to kill the Reaper. If you didn't know, Reapers just run circles around Zealots, so it's like, hey, you could build a Stalker instead. And he's like, oh, good call. Anyway, yeah, we try to keep these games like non-partial. I just like try to help out and coach whenever I can, but I don't give away anything for the opponent because we're just trying to learn. Yeah. Just general advice in general. So the Stalker This hurts to watch. See, the Reaper survives barely, the Stalker gets blown up, and 10 probes went down. That should be GG already. 10 probes at the start is not great. And you'd think the Reaper's in the bunker, but no, he goes around and just barely survives. Again. Because they heal out of combat, just like Mutalisks. Anyway. Oh, this is hard watching. So, currently, there's, like, no income for Storm, so he starts up 2 gateways instead. Oh, look, they're Heckians, or Heck Boys, since this is a family-friendly show. They've got cool racing stripes. But anyway, he thinks by starting up those 2 gateways that Bronx can't see, he'll be able to build a ton of units and get them. I don't think that'll work, and... well, not yet. Thought there was something that just happened that hadn't happened yet. Anyway, since I was bored, I just kept selecting the cybernetic score because it's got that weird spike in the center. Yeah, anyway. Nice match so far. And for those of you who are confused as to why the colors are so bright, there's a setting for it and it makes the game like 90% cooler. We'll have to like explain that later. Oh, look, here are the Heck Boys. But unfortunately, Stalkers destroy them. Only one will survive. Heck Boys, both Stalkers survive right now. So he's just like, run! And he's like, hey, there are probes up there. So no probe micro, they both die, I think. Yeah. And Storm's like, I could micro these, or I could just tell them to go up when they get attacked. So that's what happens. The Heck Boy goes down. No! And there's a drop in the main base I forgot to look at. So, anyway, 28 probes have gone down total. This normally is GG. At the start of the game, 2 probes is generally, like, it's painful, but you can keep going. 28 probes? That's GG. Because by destroying all of those guys, you get such a substantial lead then and there that there's like no bouncing back for the opponent unless they like have some cheese that just worked out or something, or like you already have all the units you need in a 1 base all-in. But typically when 28 probes go down, it's a bad idea to continue. So Storm's like, yeah, it's GG, but what if I can win this anyway? Spoiler alert, you can't. So just send everything into the tanks, and GG SMH is called. Ouch. Alright, so now we have a new guy. Mr. Prax Boom Fuel, but I'll just refer to him as Fuel, as it's easier. However, this guy is in Diamond 3, which is pretty good. As I remember, it goes Bronze, Silver, Gold, Platinum, Diamond, Masters, and then Grandmasters. So, he's the 3rd highest rank, so that's pretty good. Especially considering me and Storm are in, like, the 2nd lowest, so that's a thing. Yeah. So, I expect to see some standard gameplay from Mr. Fuel over here. SCP seems to be going through some turbulence going down that ramp. Yeah, just scouting. That's normal. Not really much to say. Oh, it's this part, isn't it? Oh yeah, it's this part. So, this is a common thing done by better players. If the other person hasn't taken expansion by the time the probe gets there, they will have a patrol move in the expansion as to not allow the other player to build their expansion. So he hasn't done it yet, but he's about to. And the thing he doesn't realize though is Storm expands really late. So he's not actually blocking this expansion. He's just has a probe moving back and forth and not mining instead. So, not great. I mean, Storm does try to go down and expand in a minute, but I wanted to tell this guy so badly that that probe is not going to accomplish anything. Anyway, it's typically a good idea against players though to, if you can, get that in their second base. You can like patrol move it. It's really great against Protoss, especially. Oh, the game froze here for a minute there. It's back though in a second. It's good against Protoss and Terran. Zerg, it takes longer to spread the creep between the two bases, but the pro Zerg players have gotten really good at handling that anyway. But it's a good practice if you can with your scout. But yeah. We got shield batteries starting up, and 4 army at the 3-minute mark. The spending could use a little bit of work for Storm, as you typically do not want your minerals to go that high in a game, unless you're like building carriers and your stargates are about to finish or something like that. You just want to keep your minerals low as there's no interest that gets compounded as time goes on. So he's trying to chase that probe out of there and build that expansion. And that seems to have worked. So Storm's warping in some army, and it appears to be tied in army supply right now. But income is not tied whatsoever. And we've got Adepts. That's a great move on his behalf, as Adepts counter most early game units for like Marines. They're good against Marauders, I'm not sure. Zerglings, they actually counter Zerglings. And Zealots, they also get a damage buff against them. But anyway, they're pretty quick, so the Adepts are actually getting beat up from the feet up over there by some Zealots. But they're just gonna kite them all day. So when they're ranged units, and they keep moving back and attacking your melee units, that's called kiting, or attacking shorter ranged units and like beating them. Typically you want to get out of that scenario, or like try to like play them. So if your opponent is doing that to you, you've got like siege tanks or something, try to bait them into the siege tanks if you can. Stuff like that is a good way to make up for it. Because like just by chasing them down, you're not going to accomplish anything. I mean, like you can split them up and hope some survive, but yeah. If these Zealots had charged, the Adepts would be dead, but no, they both barely survive. Storm was really excited about getting that Raynor portrait yesterday, and I mean, can you blame him? It's pretty cool. What do you think Raynor looks like without his beard? Do you think he'd look better or worse? I don't know. Be sure to tell us down below in the comments whether Raynor would look better with or without a beard. These questions must be asked. Alright, so now back to the game. There's an observer just strolling and patrolling all over the base, but there's no detection for Storm, so it'll be there until there's some area of effect stuff like Psionic Storm, but I don't think there will be. By the way, if you're facing like an elite AI or very hard AI, and you're just macroing but you can't keep up with their macro, a good idea to beat them, and just in general on the ladder, if you can't keep up with someone's macro, build AoE, or area of effect units, like Colossi, Disruptors, Psionic Storm, High Templar, and you'll actually get really good engagements on the lower end of the ladder, as Psionic Storm, the opponent will just like run into it and sizzle up. So yeah. It's also really good against bots because they don't micro out of it. And against really good players, they'll try to micro out of it, and you can like force them back, or force them into your fight. And you can also use like force fields to trap them in it. Like force fields from sentries, if that's not clear to beginners. This has been a fun 30 minutes so far. So thanks again for sticking with us this long if you're here. Yeah, here's a big fight. Fighting up a ramp typically is not the best idea. And the Immortals are just gonna destroy the Stalkers any day. I feel like they should target fire the Stalkers. But, yep. And I don't think there's any bouncing back from this at this point. I mean, compare the income in the army. Not great. I mean, if you had really high income, it would be fine. You can like lose your whole army sometimes and survive. It's not ideal, but it's okay. So let's look at what's happening. There's Stalkers attacking. And check this out, he just recalls everything back because 6 Stalkers are gonna beat this guy in a base race any day. Surprised they're not. Shield battery overcharge is activated up top, which means the shield battery will heal stuff really fast. It's a good thing to do when you're in trouble. So the Adept Scout has found this. I think that's the Adept from the start that barely survived. This guy's great at keeping stuff alive. Anyway, GG is called. Yep. Prax Boom Fuel takes the victory. Thank you to everyone who was in this video, and I would like to thank you for viewing this, because this is a fairly small channel, and we love every view we get. Thank you. Have a good day.